Today I will prepare a natural fertilizer that will make it easier for orchids to grow flower branches. If it still does not produce flower branches, even though you have entered the winter month, you definitely need to review your orchid care. Check the leaves and roots of the orchid in order for the orchids to bloom again. It is necessary to give liquid plant nutrients to wake up the sleeping orchids. We will make today's liquid plant food from wood cure. I burned wood in this barbecue you see, and I will take the ashes of this wood like this and put them on a plate. The woods can generally be oak wood or other woods. The elements contained in each wood are different. Some have too much potassium, some have too much calcium. You can separate the ash from the wood you burned in this way. We do not use burnt wood for this natural liquid. Plant food. You can use the ash of wood you burn in simple ovens or at home. Now I will sift this wood ash. As you can see, there are unburned woods inside. I filter it in a strainer like this to separate it from unburned wood. We need the ash at the bottom. As you know, the roots of orchids are very sensitive. That's why we need to prepare a fertilizer that will not harm the roots. I filtered it and left a powdery fertilizer at the bottom. Wood ash is incredibly beneficial for both plants and flowers. Today I want to show you how you can use wood ash on orchids. For this, I put a tablespoon of wood ash in a bowl, and I put approximately 2 liters of water on it. I put 2 liters of water into the wood ash. If you want, you can also put rainwater in it. As you can see, I put a glass full of rainwater. Because rainwater is incredibly beneficial for flowers and plants, you can replace 1 liter of water with rainwater. I leave it like this overnight, stirring occasionally. I sift it through a strainer like this to separate it from these black things on the wood ash that I kept overnight. The pulp will accumulate at the bottom. We definitely do not give this pulp to the orchid. We must separate it from the liquid part. If you do not separate the pulp, it will stick to the roots of the orchid. It does not provide any benefit. Only water is necessary for us. I use a tool to filter it thoroughly. I will pour all the water into the tool and strain it thoroughly. Why do we use wood water in particular? Because wood juice contains high amounts of potassium, calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. These are especially useful for the strengthening of the roots of the plants, their development, and abundant flowering. Look, after filtering like this, water emerges, and there is plenty of calcium here right now, and we will use it as liquid plant food, especially for orchids. Before giving wood ash liquid plant food, I would like to tell you about another area of use. Look, diseases like this can occur on orchid leaves. This is not a fungal disease, but as you can see, the leaf collects water and melts completely. You can use wood ash to get rid of such diseases. What you need to do here is to cut the diseased part with a pair of scissors and then disinfect the cut part, because such diseases can continue again after stopping. In order to prevent this disease from continuing, apply wood ash to the cut area and help dry this part. Wood ash also has especially disinfecting and cleaning properties. That's why we use wood ash to disinfect and dry this area. You can also apply this method to diseased parts. Yes. After applying this, we will put it on a windowsill and Wait for this area to heal over time. Yes, after a few days. Look, the part where we applied wood ash dried like this, and the disease no longer persists. This shows that the method we used is correct. Especially how to use wood ash as liquid plant food. I want to show this. In plants, it is enough to use up to 5 tablespoons for each pot. As I always say, do not give too much liquid plant food. It is enough to give this mixture once a month. You do not need to give it more frequently. I would like to show you the developments afterwards. If you watched my video up to here and liked it, you can immediately press the like button, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, you can subscribe to support me. As you can see, I just shared the results. This is another orchid of mine and I am sharing its development with you. In winter, you can give up to 5 tablespoons of this liquid plant food for each orchid. You can use this mixture for all your living room flowers at home. As you can see, I have an orchid with abundant flowers. This orchid grew more than 1 flower branch thanks to the liquid plant nutrients I gave it. This main branch you see is a flower branch, and from the side branches, he brought forth many branches of flowers. If you give liquid plant nutrients at regular intervals, your orchid will bloom in a short time. As you can see, it has multiple flower branches. Wood ash also helps keep orchid roots healthy. Look. It has started to grow a new flower branch. If you pay attention to the tips I have explained, your orchid will grow both new roots and new leaves in a short time. If the orchid grows new roots, it means that the orchid is healthy. And most importantly, after doing this, you need to position it in a place that gets plenty of light and is close to the window, even if not directly. I hope what I told you was useful for you. If you watched my video up to this point, you can immediately press the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you are not subscribed, you can subscribe to support me. You can make plenty of comments and ask questions in the comments section. Goodbye. Stay healthy.